बैंड कितनी बड़ी गाड़ी आ रही है। I can possibly hide a couple of team members in this massive trunk. This beast, the heaviest production private registration EV in the world, will still go from 0 to 100 in just over 3 seconds. Ensure that your eyes are on the road. There are sensors and cameras on the steering and behind the steering wheel. So in case your adaptive cruise control is on and you take your eyes off the steering, off the road, towards inside of the car will understand that and it will warn you, and ultimately it will take off cruise control. So this is the best way to end this year. Well, this is the most insane, special and exclusive car we have shot at 91 Wheels for 2024, the electric version of the Hummer EV. Now, how has the car come to our Indian shores? Well, behind all this is FNC, or Friday Night Cars, and they can get your fantasy on wheels into India as well. For example, if you want the Ford Bronco, you want the Dodge Charger, you want the Chevy Camaro, or you want the Cadillac models in the Indian market, they will do it for you. From the entire paperwork to the documentation to importing the vehicle and even converting it to RHD, or right hand drive version for the Indian market. This is not an LHD, it's an RHD. They will do it for you. Now this one first went to Sri Lanka, it got converted into RHD and now is in India right now. Is the only of its kind vehicle in North India as we speak in December 2024. The asking price, well, because of all those formalities and the conversion from LHD to RHD, the asking price has gone up to 3.85 CR. But remember, EVs enjoy zero registration charges in a lot of states in the Indian market. So at this price, the kind of exclusivity you get is definitely worth it. Tesla Cybertruck has been in my list as the top in the chart of bonkers electric SUVs. We did that walk around a few months back in Thailand for you. The link is currently in the description section below. But for now, this is the epitome of madness. This thing is so huge, I can literally hide behind the vehicle. It's very rare for a vehicle to tower over me. Now we have put the vehicle in the extract mode right now, and that is why we see this kind of ground clearance coming in. It stands at 404 millimeters. Have I ever heard of a vehicle in India having so much ground clearance on offer? Never. The standard is 260, but by going into the extract mode, I can do this to 404, and it looks insane. I don't want to use those special words, but it looks insane. We've also removed the roof over here. Very simple. They are lightweight panels. I could do it easily myself. Remove the roof panels. We've taken the car to the extract mode, and this is the way to show off what the Hummer EV is all about. Design from any angle is again just too good to be true. You have a huge LED bar running across the width of the vehicle, and it's a very wide car. Look at this. Usually cars look small in front of me, but this is level next. The lights are very special. When you charge the vehicle, there's a pattern that comes on the lights to tell you the level of charging in the car. So example, you have driven into a cafe on a highway, charging the vehicle from a distance, you can make out how much charge has the battery taken. Speaking of battery, it is the biggest possible battery pack on any production passenger EV in the world. It all sits between both the axles right over here, and it's also the heaviest electric SUV you can buy anywhere in the world. Again, the Tesla Cybertruck has made its impact worldwide, but this for me stands at the top of the charts. It's a huge vehicle. The wheels are 22 inches. You can opt for the 18 inches with the off-road package, but for this you have these 22 inches coming in over here. Special Goodyear tires, and the width is 305 millimeters. You can even make out the whole air suspension assembly on the inside. I can literally take my head into the gap right over here. Of course, when you start moving, take down the car, and it's better in terms of your whole agility and your handling manners. A lot of badging on the car. This has a sports pack-in, that's why the red shackles up front and the red branding over here for HEV. You can call it HEV as also, Hummer EV. Huge XL size mirrors. This is a 3X model. You also have the 2X internationally, but 3X is what gives you 3 motors, 1 at the front and 2 at the rear. Everything is XL size, even the door handles on both the ends, and every single door has the request sensor for your push button start, for your smart keyless entry. Every single handle we do that for you. Steps are very important, but even then getting into the Hummer EV is not an easy task. Open this huge door, put your feet over here, use a grab handle, and you can get inside the vehicle. So that will be a task, but once inside, it's completely worth it. That at a later stage. The rear wheels, again, massive, chunky, and the whole stance is something you can rely on. Even if there's the next World War coming in, you can rely on this kind of safety package and the stance that you get with the Hummer EV or the HEV. At the back, for this particular shoot, we have branding from FNC. They are the people behind getting the Hummer EV, and will do other cars also for you. Your fantasy on wheels, they'll make it true for you. I love the stance of the tail lights. The vertical stance looks very well, and of course it is a GMC product, General Motor Corporation. As of today, unfortunately, in the four-wheeler market, you have no American brand in the Indian market. Chevy is no more, Ford is no more, but GMC now can be in India thanks to FNC. On the left side, in terms of branding, you have again HEV coming on that side. At the back, multiple things are happening in terms of functionality. You have the sports to charge your other appliances and even put on the trailer, for example. And of course, the rear doors, they are powered. From push of a button right over here, you can open the door, the boot door, simply like this. So yeah, this is definitely powered, and even the front is powered. You can open that from the key fob as well. Let me show it to you. I can possibly hide a couple of team members in this massive trunk. Usually on the move, this place is used to put the roof covers that we took off, so you can put all the 4 roof covers right over here very safely.
And here is the party trick, the crab mode. With the touch of a button, this mode gets activated wherein the rear wheels turn in the direction of the front ones. This is how the Hummer EV then drives like a crab, sideways.
Now, usually in a fraternity, when you talk about specifications, that becomes the boring part of the video, but not in the case of the Hummer EV. Now, you have 2 models internationally, 2X with 2 motors and 3X with 3 motors. This is the 3X version, which means you have 2 motors at the back and 1 motor right over here. So yeah, it's all-wheel drive or 4x4. The battery pack is the largest on any production EV anywhere in the world, and over 200 kilowatt hour of battery pack on offer. It sits right over here. The cells are from LG Korea. Charging speeds for such a massive battery pack, well, it can support up to 300 kilowatt super fast DC charging, and the charging comes in right over here from this socket. In case you take the normal emergency low speed charging setup for your home or your farmhouse, it will take hours and hours, over 1 day for a complete charge. That's the kind of capacity on offer. Unfortunately, in India, the charging infra is still coming up. Even in Delhi NCR, I think the max you can get is 150 kilowatt, but that could be at a dealership of a brand not open to public in all the cases. So usually on highways we see 60 max. That means if you take a break for a couple of hours, you can get around 50-60% back. Power, hear me out, 830 PS of power, and if this sounds crazy, look at the torque, over 15,000 Nm of torque. It's not a typo, over 15,000 Nm of torque. What does it mean? Well, using all the torque and the power on offer, this one offers you a mode called WTH. Officially it's called watts to freedom, but I call it what the for obvious reasons. With that mode activated, this beast, the heaviest production private registration EV in the world, will still go from 0 to 100 in just over 3 seconds. That's like a supercar territory. No one can imagine the size of the Hummer EV on offer, the weight and the road presence can do 0 to 100 in just over 3 seconds. Unfortunately, we not driving the car as of today. It's gonna possibly go for other walkarounds as well. But yeah, that's the kind of power, performance and the acceleration on offer. This is the key to electric happiness in the Hummer EV. Now, this is definitely a future-ready place to be on the inside, and unlike some of its competitors, you do have proper physical buttons on the inside. This complete lineup is of touchable, pressable physical buttons which work for a variety of functions. The upper ones are basically for the air con controls and lower ones for the other functions. AC vents are horizontal over here and vertical on the side, and they seem to follow the same pattern as the tail lamps at the back. Hummer branding is visible across the outside of the car and inside as well. I see Hummer branding on the steering wheel, on the door pad, on the seat. The seats, by the way, are massively comfortable. They are huge even for a person of my height, my build. This area is really wide. The car is very wide, so you get your own sort of private and independent space right over here. And because it's an EV architecture, you have so much space to keep your knickknacks even on the lower part of the console right over here. A very large and usable place to put even the largest of the phones for your wireless charging. We have the rotary dial for your terrain modes. The same has to be used for the crab mode and also to lift up the car up and down. Space over here for your cup holders. The key will be right here for the chute, and a triple XL sized armrest which also has ample storage space to possibly keep in at least 6 large cans if required. A charging outlet on the inside, 12 volt, and you have a USB over here and a C-type on this side. Now both the screens have a lot of information on hand. In fact, there is so much to talk about. I'm sure I might miss out on a few features. I'm sorry for that. I have the drive mode display over here, the altitude, your location anywhere on earth, and then you have the drift mode. You have the G-force also on this part. If I toggle this, you can see the pitch and the roll, and of course when once you drive in the car, you can see also what's happening to each wheel. You have the TPMS which starts working once you drive in the car, and then again once again the compass and your altitude. Also, once you start driving the car, you can see the torque coming in. Right now we are in the lowest possible position. That's why the entry/exit, the car is on the lowest position. If I start the car, if I want to go up, I can use the toggle switch and I can start going up. From this particular switch, I can go into various drive modes, which also includes the terrain mode. In the terrain mode is where the extract mode comes into the picture, where the car goes up high to have a ground clearance of 404 millimeter on the inside. Over here, this screen is basically, it's an outside mirror, but if you switch on the car, it shows the display of the camera which faces at the back, because the visibility like this is very poor. This button can be used to take down the last window. I haven't seen this in any other car I've reviewed in my lifetime, a proper switch to take down the last windshield at the back. What more, this area is completely on the lower side, so even if you're short in height, your visibility will not be hampered, and that part of the bonnet has the edges and bulges which helps me in terms of my visual appeal when there's traffic around me. What else? I'm currently in the lowest position of my driving posture. Yes, now in the lower position, and because we have taken off the roof panels, it gives you a very good sense in being in a convertible SUV of sorts. Now this of course has, as part of ADAS, it has the adaptive cruise control, and to ensure that your eyes are on the road, there are sensors and cameras on the steering and behind the steering wheel. So in case your adaptive cruise control is on and you take your eyes off the steering, off the road, towards inside of the car will understand that and it will warn you, and ultimately it will take off cruise control. So this is where the safety part of the Hummer EV comes into the picture. This definitely is a great place to be in terms of the rear seat space and comfort on the inside. The front seat is for my height, 6 feet tall, and even then over here I have 3 to 4 inches of knee room, ample amount of width on the inside, and because the panels are off, I can enjoy the wind in the hair experience inside the Hummer EV. I see ample amount of soft touch materials on the inside, on the upper part, on the side part, and practical bits. For example, there are two places to keep your bottles, one on the lower part and even on the upper part inside the door pad. That is definitely a plus point. It's got a 3-zone climate control, 2 for the front passengers, single zone over here for the rear ones. So 3-zone climate control, your charging outlets, AC vents, and ample place to keep your phones while they're getting charged. Armrest with your 2 cup holders. So a good place to be in terms of your visibility and the comfort factor. The back of the seat is slightly on the firmer side, but the thigh support is decently good even for tall people like me, and a full flat floor because it's an EV architecture. Like the front seats, you also have these chunky grab handles to come inside the vehicle. Plus, I love this full tinted glasses for the rear passengers. It's not on the front doors, but for the rear doors, it has the mafia look with the tinted dark glasses on the inside. The boot space, practical enough. Let's go there. So this is one way of me showing you the boot of the Hummer EV. I currently have two team members, Yogesh who's 5'11" and Lakshya, you are 5'8". So 5'8", 5'11", they can easily fit inside the Hummer EV and still have some space to keep the charger, for example. Thank you guys, you can come out. And this is also a practical space to you, because if you're camping in the middle of nowhere, you have ample places to charge your stuff. For example, this socket right over here is a proper 3-pin setup, and beyond that, if I want more space, I can do that with the push of the buttons right over here. These will actually tumble down the second row in a powered manner. Look at this. So now this is ample for me to put a bed, use the V12 functionality to light up some lights, a coffee maker or a small machine, and have my peaceful camping in the middle of nowhere. This is what the Hummer EV, internationally at least, is known for. I'll again push this button to close the boot door as well. Superb, right? And in case you want to hide something from your wife or your friends on a camping trip, you can use this place. But I wonder, यहाँ पे क्या जाएगा? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that brings us to the end of this crazy video with the Hummer EV. Frankly, I had no idea I would get up close and personal with the Hummer EV so early into the EV timeline in the Indian auto industry. Once again, just to summarize, it is FNC or Friday Night Cars who are doing all the headache of getting a car like this for you from the US market into the Indian market. All the documentation, the importing procedure, the custom duties or the custom packs, and even converting the car from LSD to RSD will be done by them. The asking price for this one is 3.85 CR ex-showroom, and you can also opt for other crazy options like the Ford Bronco, the Dodge Challenger, the Chevy Camaro, and so on. So all those cars are available for you to book and purchase through FNC. The list is on the website, and the website link is currently in the description section below. Anything I've left about the Hummer EV which I've not told you in the video, please ask me in the comment section below. And very soon we'll be embarking on a snowy travelogue into the northern part of India. Which car, which vehicle, which location, how is the travelogue like? Well, for that you have to wait for a few days. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon as well. Once again, signing off from 91 Wheels and the Hummer EV for you guys from FNC.